Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another JVS movie review from the Middleburg Film Festival. This review here was my favorite film of the Middleburg Film Festival. The name of this film is Come On, Come On. It is directed by Mr. Mike Mills. Here's the quick synopsis. An artist left to take care of his precocious young nephew forges on an unexpected bond over a cross-country road trip. And this one stars Joaquin Phoenix, Gaby Hoffmann, and Woody Norman. First, let's start off by saying this. If you've ever seen anything done by Mr. Mike Mills, you understand at times, I wanted to bring up another director that he kind of reminds me of, but that director is in enough issues that we can't bring his name up anymore. But Mike Mills has become, to me, a director who falls in love with the New York scene and the way he shoots the city. Like he is, to me right now, possibly the top director in showing his love for that city. And that says a lot, because that city is shot a lot. But you can tell that Mike really loves it and loves the scenery and loves the setup of the city. Now, with this film here, we have Joaquin Phoenix playing this character who has to get to know his nephew after a family drama. Let me start off by saying Mr. Joaquin Phoenix, who possibly the last time most people have seen him in anything was the Joker. Once you see this film, it is the complete opposite of the Joker. This is such a subtle, powerful performance that he puts on here that the over-the-topness of the Joker is brought all the way down. And it reminded me of possibly of the mode of his performance in Her, and how it just felt so full, so real, so cerebral at times that you get caught up in it. Because at times with this film, with Joaquin being such a huge star of an actor, at times you just forget that I'm watching Joaquin Phoenix on screen, and it could have been anybody on there, because the role is so well performed and he dives in it so well. And the film being based off of relationships, I think helps a lot, because he has to play off of someone. And here, in this film, he plays off of Mr. Young Woody Norman, who is as good, if not better, than Joaquin Phoenix in this film. It is scenes in this film with the interactions with this kid, not only with Joaquin Phoenix, but with Gaby Hoffmann, where you forget this is a child actor. Like, they do an amazing job at giving him the dialogue necessary to make the story move forward without us overly paying attention that he's a kid. And then they bring us back to earth that he is a kid when he goes through huge emotional moments that kids may go through at times. And then even in those moments, he still manages to have these adult conversations about those moments and about his real feelings. And that's what makes his performance so great. And even Gaby Hoffmann, who plays the mom here, she's the center of the film for me. She's the grounding element of this film. Like, the film starts off with her character having to go find her husband and check him into a mental health facility as he's had another mental break. And she needs someone to take care of her son. And she calls her brother, they've become estranged since the death of his mom. And we see it play out a little bit of the death of the mom and how the two siblings interact with each other during the mom's sickness, and how we can see that caused them to separate from one another. And yet, when she's going through this tragic situation, she calls on her brother to come help take care of her son. So when we first see these interactions with Woody and Joaquin, it's two people getting to know each other, but in the sweetest way humanly possible, but still in adult situations, as the mom character made sure she didn't hide anything from the son. So I love the first point that they took that element away and said, we're not going to have an element of this film where this kid doesn't know everything that's going on with his father. We need him to know it because we need him to deal with what goes on in his life. And it works so well. And again, Joaquin dives into this role, and it is so heartwarming and touching. And as a backdrop of it all, we have him being a reporter who goes around and interviews children about their circumstances. So as we're seeing him interact with kids from different backgrounds, different ethnic groups, everything of this nature, we're also seeing him struggle to build that same relationship with his nephew. And I think that is a very powerful message of how maybe we can do things on the outside with other people, but it's still harder to connect with family. But as the film progresses and as they get closer, I think that's the film's bond of them two. And along with, at the time, with them two, along with Gaby Hoffmann's character going through everything with her husband, but still being there for her brother in situations where he's losing his mind because he's never had to deal with a kid before. And kids do things that make adults worry about them. Kids do things that scare the heck out of an adult. And just to have her there to reassure him multiple times in this movie, like, no, this happens. No, these are things that kids do. It is one scene that is every parent's worst nightmare. In a grocery store where Woody's character gets away from Joaquin and he loses him for like a minute or two, and he is scared out of his mind. You can see it all over Joaquin's face. It is a great moment in this film. When he finds him, Woody finds it funny. And Joaquin does what most parents or guardians would do. He goes off. But the moment he goes off, it triggers Woody's emotions. And when it does, in any other typical film, you would expect that to set the mom off. And the mom's like, I got to go back. I got to go get my child. This can't happen. I can't believe you lost my child. Instead, in this moment, the mother says, it happens. It's not the first time it happened. It won't be the last time it happens. It happens. And it brings a calm over you as an audience member to let you know, okay, so we're having a real story in this movie and not the fictional made up Hollywood type of story that comes along with this type of setup. And that alone blew me away, along with everything else. It's beautifully directed. I loved every bit of the cinematography in this film. It looks amazing. It's 3 Oscar caliber performances in this film. It's 3 performances that definitely all should get nominated for Oscars, but it's definitely 3 Oscar caliber performances in this film. So, come on. Again, brought to you by the Middleburg Film Festival. Out of a possible 10, I'm giving Come On a 10 out of 10. This is my favorite film of this year. It's a gut punch at times. They pull no punches on each storyline in this film. Whether it be the relationship between the mom and her son, no punches are pulled. Between the uncle and his nephew, no punches are pulled. Between the father and the mother, absolutely no punches are pulled. And it is some of the hardest scenes in the world to get through. But it's such a realism that is shot with such care that it never comes across as self-deprecating when it happens. It works. And that's all you wanted to do. That's in the end, a film like this, all you want is the stories to work. You don't want it to go to this bloated, this is us phase of things where you cue up sad music, make you cry here. No, this one's like, no, we're going to give you the real story. We're going to give you the real deal. We're going to give you real consequences to these character situations. And for that, I am thankful as someone who loves film that I got to see something that I did not expect. I knew nothing about Come On before I sat down at the Middleburg Film Festival to watch it. I knew nothing about this film. So I went in cold and I left blown away. This has been another JVS movie review. Peace, people.